Boom. Live. Live again with all you wonderful individuals out there in Streamland. My name is Josh, aka Jay Frosty. With me, as always, below me is my brother Matt, aka Technique. We are the W Key Podcast. We're here to bring you guys some fantastic gaming news and news-related things to do with gaming. Everything gaming, sort of.
Did you say gaming news and news to do with gaming?
Yeah. I did say that. And you're just going to have to deal with it. It's deal day is around the corner.
Oh, yeah.
Big deal day. Most people get all their video games for the whole year.
A lot of stuff has been going on, like
5 days,
week.
4 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
what's the stats on buying stuff? Is it like statistically proven that most people buy their new games within these?
I don't know, actually. That's something that we could look up,
Yeah.
That would be interesting to have. I just assumed that was the case because that's what we always did. We waited until Black Friday and we went to Walmart and bullied little old ladies out of the way to grab games that they wanted to get for their grandchildren.
I mean, it's like that, and also all the good stuff is released around the holidays anyway. Yeah. So, like, during the year, there's nothing that great. There's good stuff, but the best stuff, creme de creme, is now. Best.
The tippity top. We're only halfway up.
Think about it.
Think about it. I mean, it's Christ, what? Next gen consoles have been out for a week and a half. They came out on
12th was
So
12th was PS5. Yeah, 2 weeks exactly for Xbox. That was the 9th, was it not? So 2 weeks exactly.
So
that. I feel like not a lot of issues going on. I mean, that the whole smoking thing was that a farce, or are they actually smoking?
I think that was a farce. I believe
I know people were blowing vape into.
Yeah, exactly. I believe people are blowing vapes into their Xbox Series X's, which, for the life of me, I don't know why you'd pay $500 for a gaming console and then blow fucking cherry flavored water vapor into the fucking center of the console, where all the electrical parts are that don't like water. I guess.
I do this, I might lose $500, but all the sponsorships I'll get after this will be so worth it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, so I think the Xbox One X thing was a farce. The PS5s, from what I've seen, have legitimately been telling people to turn them off because they've been too hot. From what I've heard.
I've heard of overheatings.
But again, that's if you can even get your hands on one. Basically.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Getting an Xbox Series X or a PS5 or even a Series S for that matter, like, they're telling you, hey, come back sometime next summer. So, like, who the fuck knows when the rest of the population is going to be able to get one?
Walmart's supposed to have some on 25th.
Yeah,
the day before Thanksgiving. Yeah, so
I'll believe that
online.
When I see it.
So they said they're supposed to have them online. So it's another ditch effort to get one.
Yeah.
Before who knows what, I don't know.
Well, I mean, you just got your hands on a 3070, so
I did get lucky though. Did score the 3070. I was just randomly browsing, doing my daily due diligence of just browsing everywhere to see what could happen, and I stumbled across Best Buy.
It's called the grind, Matt. One of the kids I work with at the axe throwing, he, when he's not coaching or doing anything, he's like, all right, back to the grind. And he's just refreshing Best Buy for a PS5.
Dude, it was so weird because it was a situation I saw when they had PS5s. Like, you click it and you don't really add it to your order. They'll kind of put you into a wait list. Like, okay, we don't have it yet, but we're going to refresh and you should have a chance to get it. So I was like, okay, click. And then it went all the way through. I was able to pay for it and everything. And I was still just skeptical. Like, I saw it, pay for it. I got email. I got tracking number. I'm still like, nah, man, it's not. I don't actually have it. It's supposed to get delivered tomorrow. I'm still kind of like, nah, I didn't actually get shipped until I get my hands on it tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I was very surprised because I browse IGN deals on Twitter all the time, and they're usually on top of it. I never saw any tweet of them saying, yeah, Best Buy has stock of 3070.
It probably had it for like 2 minutes total.
Oh, dude, honestly, it lasted kind of a while. I
feel like I checked right after you mentioned it,
really?
and I looked, and I mean, at least where I was, the Best Buy, like, wherever I was looking.
There's only certain ones too.
Yeah.
Like they had like sold out, and then they had certain ones. Because once I bought mine, I kind of went back, and one, I wanted to test just to see how long they'd have stock for, and two, I was kind of considering buying a second one to jack up the price and make some money. And 5-10 minutes later,
you
I
either
could
die a
still add
hero
one.
or you live to
I
become
did
the
both,
thing you
alright?
hate.
But yeah, I think like 10 minutes later, I was still able to add one. I was like, damn, they're
Yeah.
kind of. It lasted longer than I expected. As soon as I got mine, I instantly DM'd Darth on Twitter because I know he's been looking for
Yeah.
one too. I'm like, dude, Best Buy 3070s, go, 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 go. He's like, all right, I'm on it.
It's crazy.
He said he got one. He's trying for a 3080, but he couldn't get it, so he got a 3070.
Yeah, I saw on Twitter. I saw you got his the other day. I mean, hey, I don't know. Unless you're playing in 4K, like a 3070 is more than enough. I feel like.
Yeah, I
So
didn't see any. I was never tempted by a 3080 personally, but
yeah, but well, I mean, that's the thing, you know. That's what we're dealing with right now is shortages all around. You know, we talked last episode about the Ryzen 5 series or 5000 series rather. You know, getting your hands on
I haven't
those.
seen any notification of those being in stock either.
Next to impossible. You know, getting your hands on one of the consoles is going to be next to impossible. You know, but the only thing you can get your hands on are the games. But you know, why are you going to want to buy, you know, the game for the current gen when you plan on getting a next gen game? So or next gen console.
That's the thing I love seeing IGN deals. Just always tweet about accessories or games to PS5. It's like, yeah, let me just go buy that for PS5 I don't have.
You're buying it in preparation for one day
Just
having the
all my
PS5.
stuff, like, yeah.
You show all your
someday this will come
friends all the
handy.
cool accessories you have for the PS5, but not actually the PS5. And you know, they'll be like, "What's wrong with you?" And you'd be like, "I'm just hopeful, man.
One day I'll
One
have
day
one.
I hope."
Then you won't mock me anymore.
You'll be that crazy person. Yeah, so it's been interesting. It's been a pretty interesting few weeks. Obviously, all the next gen hoopla has been happening, but there's been other things happening as well. I think, you know, if anyone wants to do something kind of weird and crazy, any company, you know, now's a good time to do it because of all the other crazy shit that's been happening. You might get a little might get buried under some of the other news, which, you know, I have one thing in particular. I don't think it got buried, but like if you weren't actively looking for it, I feel like a lot of people wouldn't have seen it. So yeah, so it's an interesting time because of all that. You know, there's a lot of stuff out there. There's a lot of people just like obsessing over trying to get the next gen console. There's a lot of people obsessing over trying to get new PC equipment, PC components, because there's been a lot of good shit that's been released lately. So we'll get to some of that, all of that coming up. But we're going to start off with a trend that I started last episode. This week in gaming. We went a little long last time with This Week in Gaming, so I'll try to keep it a little bit shorter. There's not as much on the list, or at least not as much that I saw that I was really kind of like that piqued my interest or tickled my fancy, if you will. Start off, we're going to go oldest to newest. And even the newest is still pretty old. So realistically, 22 years ago, can you imagine that? 22 years ago. You were 7 years old. Happy birthday, by the way. Matt just turned 29 on the 21st.
So much because there's so much to do with non-COVID happening.
Yeah. You know, he's 1 year closer to more random things hurting on him when he wakes up in the morning. So there's always that to look forward to.
I'm hurting right now, but it's allowed because Aaron made me do a stupid workout called, I've heard of the Murph workout or whatnot.
No, it sounds like something he made up just to put you through hell.
No, it's like made by some Marines. Like, so it's like a mile run, 200 push-ups, 100 push-ups, 200 pull-ups, 300 squats, and then you run
200 pull-ups.
Well, we don't have a pull-up bar, so we did. We had weights, so we did stuff for shoulder. We did shoulder presses, so we mixed it up. But yeah, it's like 300 things.
You realize pull-ups are a back workout, not a shoulder workout, right?
You can kind of feel it. We did something up here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm still in just my elbows fucking hurt.
It's called tennis elbow. Welcome to the old man club. It's tendonitis, essentially.
Man. Well, also, so after a while, I couldn't do push-ups because my chest is wearing out. So I did curls. And I think that's what really fucking getting into it.
Tendonitis, man. All right. So 22 years ago, the Sega Dreamcast came out.
I don't
So,
even remember this
yeah, I was
much,
just saying,
so
many of you might not remember the
I don't have
Dreamcast.
a lot of takes on this.
There's not much really to take on it. It was, however, the first console ever that had online
Yeah, my
multiplayer
first question, that's
compatibility.
legit?
Yeah, oh yeah. Sega
What?
Dreamcast. Everyone wants to look at like the Xbox and the PS2, I think, and 'cause I
That's
don't-
what comes to mind for me is like
yeah,
PS2. I kind of had it, but I thought it was very lackluster. And then the Xbox is
Yep,
kind of the first I
nope.
experienced with a lot of Halo and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, technically the Dreamcast was the first internet-equipped online multiplayer console. Obviously, PC had been doing some online stuff for longer. But yeah, Sega Dreamcast we didn't have one, obviously, because you don't
Yeah.
remember it.
Nope.
I had a few friends that had them. I didn't play them all that much. So it's like the Dreamcast, the Saturn, there's one other that was around that time that like I had touched maybe 4 times in my life. So yeah, so 22 years ago, Dreamcast came out. You know, the whole thought of online multiplayer. Obviously, look where it is now.
So where it began.
You know, it's pretty much the sole reason some people buy consoles and buy, you know, games and play video games in general, is to play games with their friends online, and then also to talk trash to like 12-year-olds after they kill them. 21 years ago, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six came out. The very first Rainbow Six. I still remember playing that game.
What was that on?
It was on the PlayStation, I believe.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, it was. I remember it was old. I mean, it's just like all those other games, so blocky, old, but I mean, it was fun. It was a cool first-person shooter. Yeah, I remember playing that. That's it's crazy to think that was 21 years ago.
It's actually nuts.
I know. Another game that's 21 years old. Actually, no. Yeah, it would have been PlayStation. It would have been around PlayStation time. 21 years ago, Donkey Kong 64. So the N64, Donkey Kong 64, Donkey Kong's a lot of fun. Donkey Kong 64 was fun. We still in college we used to Nick and I used to download emulators and we'd put it on his laptop and hook it up to the TV and we'd all play each other in like Donkey Kong 64. We do Mario Kart, all that shit. It was so much fun. So I would say I'll make the statement. The N64 was one of the best party consoles like you could play with, you know, as far as like having
for sure
fun with friends. Like it was.
I mean, yeah, you had Smash Bros on it, dude. That there is enough for
Mario
me.
Kart, Donkey Kong 64,
Smash,
Mario Party. Yeah. We used to do it. We'd go over to my buddy Joe's place. We'd play Pokemon in card form, like not on Game Boys, like actually in card form. And then we'd play.
I've never ever played actual Pokemon
really?
card game. I've always collected it, and then when I collected Yu-Gi-Oh cards, that's why I would play that. But I never actually played Pokemon the card game.
No, yeah, we used to play actual Pokemon card games, like battles with cards, and then we would play like GoldenEye, Donkey Kong, Mario Kart, all on the N64. It was a blast. So much fun. Oh, nostalgia. 16 years ago, the world was cursed with the affliction that is World of Warcraft. That came out 16 years ago on the PC. So
I'd like to say I'm immune to it though. Like I played it.
Too.
Did not get hooked onto it as some people are absolutely lost into it.
Yep.
Like
Tim and Soda Poppin' and
I don't know. I got introduced to WoW after Star Wars Galaxy turned shitty because that's my first MMO that I got absolutely sucked into. And then once that got shitty, I was looking for something different. Tried WoW, just never didn't hook into me.
I like that idea. Like I like that style because I mean, like I play like Lord of the Rings and shit. You know, all those types of games that have stuff. But I just there are like books and books and books on like how to properly level and how to raid and gear to use. And, like, it's like people
intimidating.
I would say people dissected every aspect of that game so much and made it so not automated because that's not the right word, but like so you weren't playing anymore. It was a routine. Like, you had to do this or else you wouldn't win, or you had to level this way, you had to equip this gear, you had to cast a spell at this exact time. So it would be in conjunction with this other spell for X amount of seconds to get another special buff. And it was like, Jesus, man, like, don't you just like enjoying the game and like playing?
So much. Sound like I'm clocking to do a job.
Yeah, exactly. That, yeah. So, yeah. So, I mean, and then, and then obviously with those types of games, you run into those players that are fucking leveled up and they just bitch slap you. And you're like, well, fuck, I never want to do anything in the PvP area or anything like, so. Yeah, so it was a tough game. Like, it wasn't my cup of tea, particularly. Yeah. So, and then the last one, 15 years ago. So, like I said, it's the most recent, but still not that recent. 15 years ago, the Xbox 360 was released.
Mm-hmm.
I second so you wrote this down, but I second that hands down. It is.
I think it's got to be
the best console, by far.
Just plenty of good memories on that thing. Just
so
games to
many
play.
Games
used to have so many like. That's like the question too. Was the console itself good, or is it just the games that they made for it?
I mean, the console itself was great. I mean, the console was fantastic, I think. I mean, it had its issues, the Red Ring of Death, and if you don't know what the Red Ring of Death is, then you aren't a gamer. Like, let's be honest.
Wrapped it up in a blanket, dude. Fixed it.
He babied it, wrapped that thing up like a baby, had to treat it right.
I don't know what it does, but fixed it, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think, from a technical standpoint, I think the console itself was powerful. It was really powerful at the time.
I just think the games that came out
were so good.
Huge. Just great games.
Yeah, so many influential games. Xbox had the original Xbox and PS2, like we talked about earlier, had online capabilities, but it was taken to a whole nother level with the 360. Yeah. But I mean, part of that also is about the same time like dial-up started to phase out, and DSL and cable internet started becoming more mainstream, so you wouldn't be taking up people's phone lines, and internet speeds were a lot faster, so the online gaming experience was a lot better. So, at least in our areas, like our neck of the woods, that's kind of around that time, before we had fucking dial-up for God knows how long.
Oh, I remember that.
So I think a lot of those factors play into the success of the 360. But I mean, still, success is success, and it's it's
good timing, a meld of the hardware itself, games, and just
LAN parties, man.
Booming.
Used to stay up so late playing Halo 2.
LAN parties were just a blasty blast.
But some great memories on 360. So if you still have a working one and you choose to play it, can still, I believe,
I got my black one up at mom's house still. It's not like the OG one. I can't remember what that was even called. I think it had a kind of fancy name like Xbox 1 and 2. But yeah, I like the last, I think it's the last models they made, the black sleek one.
Yeah.
Mom asked, I'm like, hell no, don't throw that out.
Say cherish. If you have one, for any of you out there that have them too, cherish those things, because man, there's a lot of good memories on that console. So
I'm keeping that thing till the day I die.
I know. Yeah, I mean, when you get, you got to get it down there. Get a house eventually, and you get a room for gaming and streaming. I would say
on the wall somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. So that's This Week in Gaming. So like I said, try to do that every time we record an episode. It's just a cool little look back on gaming history. Brings up a lot of nostalgia in a lot of cases. Brings up some cool things that you didn't realize happened so long ago, like WoW or the Dreamcast. So something we started doing and something we're going to continue to do. Like I mentioned earlier, all the crazy shit that's happening right now. I wouldn't say crazy in the sense of like batshit crazy, but just like there's a lot of stuff happening.
This is insane. I just looked up the Xbox. It's called the Xbox 360 Slim.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if this is a base model, but 4 gigabytes of memory. Woo. Gonna get a lot of games on. Is that what it came with, or am I just tripping? What?
Or is that RAM though, or is that actual storage? I thought I had an
360 Slim 4 gigabytes black. It says size.
Wow.
4 gigabytes. It's refurbished. There's no way.
Because I remember the original 360 came out, and they had the 360, and then like they had the 360 arcade version. The arcade version didn't have a hard drive,
Maybe
and then the normal one had it had internal memory, but then the normal one came with the attachable hard drive that had like 100 gigs or something like that.
yeah, that's gonna be wrong. I'm pretty sure mine was like 500 gigabytes. That's
Yeah.
gotta be it's gotta be like missing the attachable something or other.
Yeah. So, yeah. So like I said, a lot of not like crazy things in the sense of like, oh my god, that guy's crazy. Like not that type of crazy, but like just like supply shortages, impossible, items to purchase, just everything that's going on would be what's the word I'm looking for? It would be expected or not expected. It would be Jesus, man, I'm blanking on a word right now. It would be like, okay, I guess for lack of a better word, if you were unaware of this next thing having started or been put in place. But if you have dreams of streaming, Twitch has just made it a little bit easier for you
to buy your dreams.
Exactly, to buy your dreams and get your first status bump to affiliate. So, if you buy a Monster Cat Gold subscription, they're a music label, and they have a subscription platform that allows you to play music on, while you're streaming. So you're free of DMCA and all that shit, which is like the big hot thing right now. Why the fuck would you pay $5? Just go use Harris Heller's Stream Beats. It's free. But
I feel like
it won't get you Twitch. It won't get you Twitch affiliate in 30 days, though. Is really the big difference there.
Oh, if you take all that information to heart and really try.
If you do, so yeah, if you buy the Monster Cat Gold subscription, it's $5 a month. After your account has been active, your subscription has been active for 1 whole month. You basically get granted. You can apply and get affiliate status at that point. I haven't seen anywhere that it's guaranteed, but I mean,
that's to me the word. It says apply. I'm wondering if they deny, but there's no way, because if they deny, so I'm like, hey, I paid $5 for this extra add-on. You can't go and deny it.
They wouldn't market the subscription granting you the ability to apply for affiliate unless it was guaranteed. Like it wouldn't matter at that point. Like it's like, yeah, you can apply, but you still won't have the boxes ticked off, so you'll get denied. Like,
I think the applying is just someone going in to look to see if you have the Monster Cat subscription. Oh, you do? Okay, yeah, you're granted it.
I mean, this is crazy. I mean,
this is nuts. This is absolutely nuts. When I read it, I thought it is one of those just bots that comes in my channel, like, hey, you want to buy followers and donos and this and that, come to bigfollows.com. All right, this has got to be a lie. Like, oh no, this is
come to bigfollows.com.
That's what's called.
Is there one really?
Yeah, I get that bot all the time. They come in like, hey, you want to get this, and it's bigfollows.com.
Oh, that's great.
So I thought this was like a lie. I thought this was a scam, a joke, and I looked into it, and this is a legit something Twitch is running on their end.
I mean, and my first, it was funny when you texted me that. My first question was like, so Amazon owns Monster Cat, then, right? Like that was my first initial guess, because it's like, why the fuck would they give this service to this music company? Like if Amazon wasn't making something out of it too, I guess, but I don't know. I looked at it and I found no ties, or I couldn't find any ties. Doing the old Joogly searching that I was doing.
Yeah, I'm not really seeing anything either.
Yeah, so
I mean, it could be behind the scenes, like, hey, anyone signing up for this and that uses the Twitch affiliate thing will give you half of their subscription, because obviously they used us to get to a place on your channel, on your platform.
It's entirely possible. I just think, I think it's crazy. I mean, I did it, back in the day, though it was a little bit false, because I wasn't really aware of the pitfalls of follow for follow, and like that Remember
Hmm.
that view
Hmm.
channel where people would go in and just kind of like
Yeah, just playing music the
keep
entire
tab. Yeah, it
time.
would keep you. They would you could recruit people to basically keep tabs open for you. So like I got affiliate that way, um, and I wasn't really aware that that was way back in my wee young streaming years. Really only like 4 years ago. Um, it was it wasn't abundantly clear to me that that wasn't the good way to go about it. Now I know, and obviously I got the affiliate status, but then when I streamed, I still didn't have anybody would pop in. I didn't have any regulars. I didn't have any of that shit. So it was very clear right off the bat that I didn't go about it the right way because I didn't have people returning. I hit the numbers I needed to hit, but I didn't get anyone coming back to actually
Yeah,
enjoy the streams with me. So that was like a pretty big like, oh, yep, I see. I get it now. Uh,
yeah,
Same idea with this. It's like just because you're paying $5 a month, they're not gonna funnel. I mean, unless they are, uh, they're not gonna funnel viewers your way to like hang out and like actually build a community. Like that's not happening. So you're gonna get affiliate. And you're still gonna be streaming to 0 people. And
yeah. That's kind of like where I like. To me, it's a slap in the face and like not a huge one. I'm a little disappointed into it. Me and plenty other thousands of people, you gotta put the work in, get the numbers, this or that, and it's just it is a nice thing to work towards. And when you finally got that email saying, "Hey, you've reached affiliate status," it was just nice. It's a little confirming thing that hey, what you're doing is paying off. And now these people can just come in, like, yeah, here's $5 for your subscription package. Give me affiliate.
all you have to
Uh,
do is be active for a month, and then you can
yeah,
cancel it
it's not
after
even that
that.
long. Yeah, I wonder
$5 to get affiliate.
happens if because they can't take away affiliate status from you unless you get banned. So yeah, if you just
I mean,
end your
at least,
subscription,
yeah.
I assume you get to keep it. They can't just be like, oh, your thing's done. Yeah, get out of here.
It's my assumption too. That's
Uh,
those are the parameters that I am operating under right now. Is that
yeah,
if you pay the $5 for the month, you get affiliate. You can Monster Cat. You're an affiliate then, and you get your subs
yeah,
and all that shit. But it's like it doesn't. Again, same idea. It doesn't matter. You don't have
exactly.
people. You don't
That's my
have
thing. Like,
a
if you just
community.
barely started and then you do this right away, yeah, yes, you're affiliate, but good luck. Like any money made from affiliate requires people to be there. So if
Yep.
you're streaming to 0 to 1 people in your affiliate, good luck with that, bud. Sure, be an affiliate. That's where it
I
doesn't
mean,
really.
unless
That's
you
where it doesn't really give you that much because you're just going to be sitting there streaming to no one at
unless
affiliate status.
you roped in a really really rich dude, female, guy or girl, that just enjoys watching you stream. Maybe somehow you're,
Sometimes you need
and they're
that one
just
person
like, they're gonna just
loaded.
give you fucking money left and right. Like, I mean, I guess, sure, but that doesn't happen all that often. So, that's what you're hoping for, then I would say you're sadly
I
mistaken.
mean, like for me, like I said, getting the numbers was is validating, but at the same time, it's like really not that hard to reach affiliate. It's 3 viewers, 50 followers. That's not much. I mean, knock
Yeah.
on wood. I'm struggling to do it, whatever. But if you want to do it the right way, you can grind, and it shouldn't take you that long. For me, my question is like, what's if they take this to the next step and say Monster Cat has a higher subscription plan they want to entice people with? What's stopping them from offering partnership status to people on Twitch? Now that would really kind of rub me the wrong way if they went down that rabbit hole and started offering partnership status. That would just be a slap spit kicking the nards to everyone.
Yeah. I mean, well, and a lesser thought of aspect of this is, people grinding to partner is almost in and of itself a vetting process. Twitch vets these people knowing that they can adhere to terms of service, knowing that they can do, things the way Twitch wants them to do. They're not shitty human beings. There's been a lot, recently over the summer, there's been a lot of Twitch partners being
Mhm.
exposed for sexually predatory behaviors, grooming, all that shit. They're getting knocked off. The actual grind to get to partner is in some way a vetting process to avoid things like that. Obviously, it didn't work so well with those, but I mean, you start being able to buy partnership, you're going to get a lot of people that
They're
come to
going
the
to go off on bad
platform,
eggs.
yeah, that are, who the fuck knows, like horrible human beings, like do crazy stupid, like you don't have
Yeah,
You
you don't
don't
want
have
these
the
people
hours and
getting
thousands of
harassed or
hours of streaming under their belt to show kind of a, even if it is a facade that they put on, to show that facade. It's you're just literally letting someone off the street buy into partnership with a $50 a month membership or something like that. Like who
yeah.
knows? So
And I'm also I doubt they do have restrictions on how many affiliates they can have on their platform because it seems like they'll let as many in as needed. But let's say they have a limit on how many affiliates they can have, and someone out there is like grinding and they just like barely hit the numbers, but someone else kind of slides in and takes up their spot by using this Monster Cat service. I'd be really pissed off if I was that person trying to do it the right way. But I doubt they have an amount, like a limit on how many affiliates they can have. But just
I
in case
mean,
they did, that would make me really mad if I was grinding for it.
let me put it this way. This is how Twitch views you as a person, on the various levels that you are on their platform. You're a viewer, a non-subscribing, non-streaming, just not even an Amazon Prime member viewer. You're like the food that an amoeba would eat. Like single cell organism, you're the raw protein that the amoeba would eat. You're a Twitch Prime viewer and you give out your Prime sub to one person monthly, you're that amoeba that's eating the viewer. You are a streamer, that hasn't quite reached affiliate. You're like the thing that eats that amoeba. Basically, what I'm saying is Twitch doesn't give a shit about you. Like, at any level, they don't. They don't care what you are. They don't care who you are. The only people they care about are Nick Mercs, Tim the Tatman, Asmongold, Pokimane.
Top
Like,
dogs making
the
them
people that
cash.
pull in 30 to 40,000 viewers on a regular basis, those are the only people on this planet they care about. They don't care about their viewers. They don't care about their Twitch Prime members. They don't care about their streamers. They do not give a shit about their affiliated streamers. And they don't give a shit about 99% of their partnered streamers. They could care less about any of them. So literally, it makes, not perfect sense, but it does not surprise me that they have this out here because of the fact that they literally don't give a shit about you.
Well, also I'm kind of thinking now that we're talking about like the money grab or money aspect of it. Obviously, if there's a streamer who isn't affiliated but they have a few people there watching, they can't get subs or donos, or they can get donos. They can't get subs or bits from those people. And obviously, Twitch makes half of subscriptions or half off bits. So Twitch is probably like, well, let's make it so people can get affiliate easily, so then we can get money. Like at this point in time, why don't you just make anyone who signs up just being able to make money right away?
Right off the
so
bat, yeah.
And your grubby hands can get on it instantly instead of making us wait for it.
Exactly. There's this. I think this is honestly the first step in that process. Like,
Oh yeah,
if you want to be a streamer, like I think at 6 months, maybe even a year, maybe less than 6 months, I think you're gonna start up your account and you're the first tier is affiliate. You'll be an affiliate right out the gates because they want to start monetizing that. They don't give a shit about you, but they want your money and they want the money. They want a cut of the money people give to you.
They still want that 250 from that one beer. They don't give a shit.
Yeah. So they're definitely going to try to find a way to get their hands on that portion of revenue that hasn't been tapped, because there are plenty of people out there. Because you can do donations without going through Twitch, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And it goes to like your PayPal account.
Yeah, I was gonna say I knew that, but I was like brain farting on that. But they want the bits, they want those bits, and they want those subs. You know what I mean? So there's a healthy population out there that probably are like, why the fuck am I gonna do affiliate? Like either they don't stream enough, they don't stream frequently enough, or they do stream frequently enough and they just don't really care. But they have a loyal fan base and they have people that are donating to them. Twitch is like, fuck, we're missing out on those bits and we're missing out on those subscriptions. Like, we need that money, and they're just foaming at the mouth. And yeah, I think this is probably a tester to see like what it would look like to give everyone affiliate after 30 days or right out the gate. But don't be fooled. They don't care. They do not give a shit about you. Amazon doesn't care. Amazon cares less about Twitch than Twitch cares about you as a non-subscribing, non-paying viewer. Like Amazon doesn't give a fuck about Twitch. Like all they care about from Twitch is the money. Like that's all. That's all Papa Bezos cares about. Is like, hey, bump everything up by 50%. We need more ads. We need more revenue.
Get me more.
And even though the motherfucker made like $100 billion over quarantine, like because what else are people doing? They got nothing else to do, so they're gonna buy shit from Amazon. As we're streaming live on Twitch right now. Hey, come see us at twitch.tv/W_key_podcast. Thanks, Twitch. Love you. Yeah, I don't know. It's the evil you have to deal with, you know? Like
I just feel like this is only the beginning. I can only see it getting worse from here, possibly somehow, some way. So
and there are distasteful things to think about on all streaming platforms. You know, Twitch has got its issues. Facebook is got its own issues too. I mean, you sign up with Facebook, not so much the streaming side of things, but the rest of Facebook is a goddamn disaster. Like they're, you know, giving your information out to anyone on the fucking street with a penny, like, you know what I mean? And then you go to YouTube and they've got some arbitrary super AI bot banning people, you know, left and right and shit like that. And they change the algorithm all the time. Next thing you know, channels that were making good money get knocked down to like a quarter of the revenue they were making. And they, you know, they can't survive anymore. And they haven't been working in X amount of years because they've been doing YouTube, and now they have no money coming in because they reworked the ad algorithm and all that stuff. So, I mean, there's things to be mindful of on any platform you go to. It's just YouTube and Facebook have those two other lines of business, and Twitch has nothing else besides streaming. So they're going to do whatever they can to squeeze every little penny out of that single line of business. So I guess that's what you have to take into account. So
I agree.
Yeah, if you can't tell, I'm quite cynical about the way especially Twitch runs their business. I mean, I think anybody out there, I don't think anyone's a fool, and like not a fool. I don't think anyone is unaware of what Twitch is and what Twitch wants. I think they just, you know, Twitch is the biggest thing, the biggest one out there. So you gotta you know, dance with the devil in order to do what you want to do. So, but I don't know. So yeah, it is what it is. If you're interested, do it. I mean, you know, I'm not going to knock you. I mean, Matt might knock you, but I'm not going to knock you.
I mean, like I said, go for it. Yeah. But I think a lot of people doing it are the people who can't get the numbers. So there's going to be being an affiliate to 0 people. So whatever.
Hey, you know,
I mean, that validation, man, go for it.
We here at the WK Podcast want to bring you verified content. So, you know, hell, we might give it a try just to see how it works. I'll report back to you in 1 month.
Dream enough to need to do that.
No, not at all. But I mean, if it's pay the $30 or the $5 rather, and you get it after 30 days, like we'll be an affiliate, even though we only stream 2 hours a month every other Monday. You know what I mean? So hey, come check us out every other Monday, 8:00 Eastern time.
Just gotta find that one rich person.
I know.
That's being watching.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, you know, some more nefarious things afoot at Twitch. So be on the lookout for that.
I think that's the biggest thing. Is like Twitch has kind of just been taking shot after shot, and now they're
they do
this. It's like they
keep stooping lower and lower over the last like 4 or 5 months. It's been, oh, they can't get any worse than that, and then down a little bit further they go, and then you're like, oh, but this is the lowest, right? And then down a little bit more, and they're like, okay, fine, like. They're not that low though, and then down just a little bit more they go.
It's like a designated hold my beer guy, just basically on social media. Like, all right, we fucked up. Find something else. All right, I got this, man.
Yeah. They see that. Yeah, they basically go to fucking Randy over there. They're like, hey, Randy, we get a lot of backlash on our Twitter account about this recent thing we put out. Yeah, and he just goes, hold my beer, I'll figure it out. And, hey guys, pay $5 a month through Monster Cat and you get affiliate guaranteed. And they're like, God damn it, he's a genius.
My God.
So yeah, so it is what it is. Call of Duty. We haven't actually talked in depth about Call of Duty too much in the last few episodes. It used to be, I feel like we used to talk like a half an hour at a time about it on every episode we did because it was.
We used to play a shit ton of it.
Yeah.
Now I'm kind
I mean, I still play a lot of it. My new job, I don't play it a lot during the week anymore. So, and there hasn't been as many big things happening with it, but Cold War just came out. Cold War, it's getting semi-cold reviews. It's not the greatest.
hearing plenty of meh.
Yeah, which is weird because like I've seen a lot of people on Twitter being like, honestly, this is one of the best games. Like, like it's just, everything's the best, but like and I'm like, really?
I would respond to them like, how much is COD paying you to say this?
Yeah, because I'm like, I'm trying to think of like how to because meh is like a perfect descriptor of it. Like it's got some good things, it's got some bad things. Like I didn't think I would buy it. I did. Here I am.
I won't crack.
I'm addicted. Hi, my name is Josh. I have a Call of Duty addiction. They say admitting your addiction is the first step to recovery. Fortunately, I'm never recovering. Yeah, I bought it. I haven't played Zombies. I bought it honestly not solely for Zombies, but Zombies is what put me over the edge.
So one thing that looked kind of interesting out of all of it, or
yeah,
mix it up a little bit.
Untitled 9, a new subscriber. I believe that's over on the YouTube channel. Thanks for stepping up and stopping by. Yeah, so I bought it. Like I said, Zombies is kind of what put me over the edge. And because watching it, I watched it, like Courage and Marcel and them were playing it, and Nick was like, yeah, man, Zombies looks really cool. And I was like, all right, maybe we'll do something other than, raise our blood pressure playing Warzone and getting angry all the time. And that hasn't happened yet.
Well, let's say Zombies get swarmed by a lot of them.
I know, but it's just like that's coming. You know what I mean?
True.
And it's not like oh my god, how do they get like that much money already to buy their loadout, or like they're hacking? You know what I mean? It's not like there's none of that there. So yeah, it's got some interesting things. So I've played a decent amount, not decent amount, but like, I mean, there's some people that are fucking like, there's one kid on Twitter, the game had been out for like 16 hours and the dude was already like prestige level 2.
Oh, yeah.
I was like,
people
what?
With camos and this and that. I'm like, come on, dude.
Yeah. So when
I don't think they enjoy the game. They're just doing it to be like the first one at that level.
First in the world. Yeah.
It's like you're just hurting yourself, dude.
I mean, yeah. Don't you have a life out, like, or anything? Like, you're a sad individual if you've had the time to put in like 24 hours straight into a fucking new video game just to claim that you're the first person to hit like prestige 2 or something like that.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Here's your trophy that
I know.
is worth nothing.
Here's your trophy and here's everyone's cares. Surprise, there's none of them. And yeah, so there's, I'm trying to like think of the best way to there's number one, positive.
I've only played the beta, so I have not played the finished product, so I don't have much to tell on. I'm just going off what people say. One
thing that's positive, I would say, I feel that the maps are much more well designed than on Warfare.
The few maps they had in the beta, I enjoyed them. I enjoyed the maps. So that's the one thing I have little access to.
Yeah. So, and that's not to say that there aren't maps that I hate. There are maps that I hate. There's just no map that I hate even like a fraction as much as I hate Piccadilly, because that is the worst designed map in any Call of Duty I've ever played.
I think so, yep.
Anyone who says that that's their favorite map has an inverted penis and they're a virgin.
It's crazy.
So just take it for what it's worth. So the maps are pretty good, and there's more good ones than bad ones. And I mean that's my opinion. I mean, yours could be completely different, whoever is out there. The guns are weak as hell, though. Like, that's a negative for me. Like, starting off, every gun that you have is so weak. So if you're jumping in, like, now, like, say you decide to buy the game now, you're going to get your cheeks fucking clapped for a long time because your ARs, your SMGs, like the guns, they're just not gonna kill anyone fast enough.
I feel like that's a Black Ops staple. I feel
Yeah.
like remembering playing multiplayer in like 1 and 2 and feeling like anything base sucks ass,
Yeah.
and just getting any attachments on it made them feel infinitely better.
But I mean, they were the MP5 and the M4, or the XR4, I think is what it's technically called. Were overpowered and they've been nerfed like 3 times already.
Yeah.
But I mean,
And
it has to
MP5
do.
will die.
Yeah, it has to do with attachments because like I've been using the base of both of those versions and they don't kill very easily. I can tell you that
Yeah.
much. So yeah, attachments matter a whole hell of a lot in this game. And if you're starting off, like I mentioned just now, yeah, be prepared to get buried for a good long while because it is what it is. Movement's not super fluid. I feel like it's a little janky.
It's kind of strange in beta, and
Yeah, it
seems like it's the same.
clunky. Like obviously saying it feels clunky is weird because you don't feel anything. You're just touching buttons on your mouse and keyboard or your
I
controller.
feel it all.
But like the way it looks, like in the way it reacts when you hit the buttons, like that's kind of what I mean realistically.
Yeah.
And yeah, just it's clunkier, it's slower, it's more sluggish. Like I honestly, for a lot of the other faults that Modern Warfare has, the movement system is fantastic. I went from playing Black Ops the other day, Cold War, and then I like went right into Modern Warfare, and I was like, man, this is so much smoother. Part of it is I'm much more accustomed to that because we played a lot more of that recently.
I will say though, I was watching like Doc and Z-Laner play Black Ops, and Z kept complaining about how if he went to jump shot, it kind of felt like his person would slow down or just be weird in the air. It didn't feel right, and he was complaining about it. I'm like, to me, I thought, I'm like, good.
No,
You shouldn't be able to jump around like a speedster and jump shot all over the place. I fucking hate jump shotters. So if they somehow implemented a way, if you jump, your person like slows down in the air, you can't just whip and shoot people. Good, yeah, keep that. I like that idea.
Here, wait, I'm gonna throw out some real world physics for you. When you jump and you get to the height, the maximum arc of your jump, yeah, you're slowing down because you lose momentum as you go up in the air. That's what causes you to come back to the ground. So it's like, yeah, if I jump in real life and in COD, when I get to the height of my jump, you should be slowing down as you're jumping. And like the major problem I've had with Modern Warfare is you seem to get a plus fucking 50% accuracy bonus whenever you're jumping, especially around corners, because that's all anyone does in multiplayer, and that's all anyone does in Warzone. Jump, 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 jump. And it's like, I would love, if that is the case in Cold War, I would love them to take that one facet of Cold War's movement system and put it into Modern Warfare. That way I could have the best of both worlds. But will they do that? Probably not. So
hell no.
Yeah, I mean, the movement's odd to me personally. Feels a little off. It is what it is. Take it with a grain of salt.
A little tweak it.
Hopefully. But it is.
They'll probably do some things here and there, I would say.
Yeah, because Black Ops 4's movement system was like a dude on crack.
Yeah, you're all over the place.
So, and like the FOV and the model, the player model, and where your point of view is from was all weird. Because like when you would slide on the ground, you'd see like from your like chest down. Like you'd slide and you look down, and you're like, I can see my whole body. Like, but it's like, oh, this is weird. Exactly. That's exactly how I imagine you look when you're sliding in Black Ops 4, because like you can see everything. So like they obviously had some things fucked up. And you slid around like super fast, you move super fast. So like I think Black Ops 4 was a little too much. Modern Warfare is a lot better, and I think Modern Warfare is in a better spot for me personally when compared to Cold War. But yeah, so yeah, there's that. The one another plus I would say for me at least is like the guns at least feel like they're siloed in their classes, and they all have their specific things they're good at and their specific things they're bad at. you have an AR, even if it's kind of fully kitted and you have an SMG and you get into a close range battle, chances are that AR is not winning because that's not what it's meant to do. SMGs are meant to win in those situations. But then you have shotguns and it's like slapping
Yeah, I
people
hear those
with a
are
wet spaghetti
a
noodle.
problem again.
They're not
Wait,
good. No, they're
uh,
oh no, yeah, they're not that great.
I
You have
thought
to
they were an issue. I
literally
didn't know if it was good or bad issue. I didn't
oh
actually look into it.
no, you have to
It's just
literally have the
bad issue.
barrel shoved up someone's butt in order to kill them. Like that's the only way. Like whereas Modern Warfare, you can shoot them from like a quarter mile away. So
Yeah, I guess I'd rather have it that way. I don't know. It's
yeah,
just I'd rather have them be super weak
yeah,
than just OP as they are, because that's the only reason anyone uses them in Modern Warfare, because they're so powerful. You
yep,
make them not as powerful, no one ever touches them.
yeah. So there's that, and then which I like. I think that's good.
Yeah.
I like that idea that depending on how you're going to play or the map you're going to play on, you're going to choose a different gun to go with that play style. Granted, there's people out there that want to just complete everything, so they're going to use every gun all the time, anyways. And there's people that do that, and then there's people who actually choose, the gun for the right situation. So,
Mm-hmm.
and then I guess another final, really, really high level, kind of minimal, kind of negative for me. The grenade throwing animation is really weird. Like, there's a huge delay from when you click the grenade throw button, like when you can actually throw the grenade, because they have to do this whole pin pull thing. Like I mean, it's like super realistic, I guess, because he actually like you see the other hand pull the pin,
Yeah.
but it's like you're in the heat of the moment. You're like, I want to throw a grenade. You hit the button, and it's like, and you move because that's the thing. A lot of people now, you hit the button and it throws kind of instantly. So you keep your mouse or your cursor or your stick wherever it is where you want it to go before you start moving. But you can realistically get moving pretty quick while you're doing the throw animation. Now you have to like really kind of wait. You like, and then you can start moving. So it's like it leaves you wide open. Like or else you have to keep moving. You have to obviously have to correct for the movement of your player model and the grenade throw. So like I said, it's a minor thing, but it's something I noticed right off the bat when playing. But in all in all, I mean, it's pretty fun. I mean, it's enjoyable. It's more arcadey. There are fewer hackers. There are fewer campers. There are fewer insane sweats. So it kind of all evens out in the long term, because like you're not playing against fucking Hacky McHackerton, and you're not playing against.
For now, that's until I feel like people make them up, code them up. That's what I remember talking about a little bit last week or 2 weeks ago, that when I played the beta, the game seemed really fun for that pure fact that no one's sweaty and no one's hacking.
Everyone's going for dark matter camo now, and it's like, oh,
fresh COD is always the best COD because people are still learning it and there aren't hacks made up for it. So I can imagine it feels nice and like a breath of fresh air, just because you're not getting sweat on, you're not getting hacked on. For now, that will change real quick probably. I mean, it's not free to play. It's not like a Warzone where people get hacks and go into Warzone because it's free to play. You got to pay $60 to have the game. So some people aren't going to pay $60 for the game and then $60 for the hacks.
Yep.
Yet. So I can imagine that's like the one thing that kind of enticed me to get it. Just knowing that it's new. So new COD is always fun COD because people aren't just sweating everywhere.
Yeah. I haven't played enough to say it was worth the purchase, but I mean, so far it's good. And I mean, the story mode, the campaign's usually always really good, and so far it's been pretty good. I will say, like, the graphics aren't like the greatest, I guess. Like, I would think they would be a lot better, because like realistically, from Black Ops 4 to Modern Warfare, I would say the graphics got quite a bit better. Like, it was less arcadey, it got more kind of realistic. They haven't necessarily continued that trend.
I think they kind of stepped back into Black Ops 4 a little bit.
Yeah. So there's that. So yeah. So take it for whatever you want. I mean, obviously, our channel is not designed or predicated on providing you in-depth reviews to determine whether or not you should go buy something. But, you're an everyday gamer like we are, and the things that I just talked about matter to you, and they're going to affect your buying decision, then yeah, take it, take the advice, or take it. all the pieces of information into the account of whether or not you're going to buy it. I mean, I will say from a technical standpoint, game runs great. Runs great, high frames. I don't get any stutters, none of that shit. So like so far so good as far as how the game runs. You know, I had everything on like super high, still getting like 120, 130
FPS. Blizzard app still, or
yes. So
I know you had issues with that. So I was wondering if you could have waited
as well. Yeah. So yeah. So like I said, take that for what it's worth. You know, if you're looking for something purely, you know, from a purely technical standpoint, like it does seem to run really well. So, AMD swinging, you know, throwing knockout punches to all of their competitors somewhat in the last few weeks. I mean, you know, the Ryzen 5000 series processors have more or less dethroned Intel in the current generation of best gaming processor out there. And it's the best gaming processor, and really it's the best workstation processor too. So I mean, it get two things for the price of the one. You know, your streamer, you're gonna stream great, you're gonna code and everything great with the OBS and everything like that because of the multi cores. But if you're also putting out YouTube videos, you're gonna edit and you're gonna code really quickly as well. And if you're programming or doing any, you know, super hardcore, intense, resource intense application, you're going to be able to handle that really well too. So, you know, the Ryzen 5000 series are cream of the crop right now. And they just released, if you can get it. And they just released their RX 6000 series, or I think it's just the 6000 series, but it has RX at the front of them. So they just released their Radeon 6000 series, 6800, 6800 XT, and there is a 6900.
That thing's like $1 million though.
Yeah, I mean it's more than like your house would cost, and you probably won't be able to get it for the next like 2 years anyways. But they've made up a lot of room. And I didn't come up with this. I got it from Jay's 2 Cents, a YouTube channel that I watch a lot when it comes to hardware related stuff, so I can stay in the know. The jump that they had from like the Vega and the Radeon 64 to the Radeon, the 5000 series, like the 5800 and 5800 XT, and then the jump that they made to the 6800 is like mind-boggling, because like it's only been 4 years, I think, since like the 64, the Vega and the Radeon 64, and then I believe the 5000 series were released last year.
I think so. I remember looking at them.
They made pretty recent. You know, they made the huge jump from the Vega and the Vega 64 and all that shit that they basically put out, and they flopped like hardcore, and they canned like any development or any support for them. And then, you know, it was like 3 years later, I think it was about 3 years, they did the 5000 series last year, and then they've done the 6000 series this year, and the ground that they've made up in those years is, according to people who know better than I, pretty outstanding. So if they can keep a release cycle yearly, you know, NVIDIA's chosen to go more like every other year, every 2 years with their cards. And if AMD can stick with yearly, and they can still continue to make the year-over-year performance increases that they've done, you know, to mirror what they've done in the Ryzen, you know, the CPUs, if they can do that also in the GPUs, they're going to give NVIDIA a run for their money here really quickly.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, of course, everyone, they're sold out in minutes.
Yeah.
The 6000's just gone. So I was going to try to get one because I couldn't get a 3070. So I threw my hat in the ring, couldn't even get close, just sitting on Newegg, error screen, not even able to look at them, just like, okay, all right, fine. I guess I won't have any. But yeah, I hear they're right there on par with NVIDIA. They could take them over. I think AMD's overtaken Intel for CPUs. So I think it's only if they know what they're doing, it seems like. If they just keep at it, it's only a matter of time before they overtake NVIDIA here.
Yeah.
Though I will say, I mean, Again, we talked about 2 weeks ago how the one thing for Ryzen's people liked is the price was always lower than Intel, um, but now they're more, if not the same price as Intel CPUs, and that holds true for the graphics card. Also, the graphics card used to be pretty cheaper than Nvidia, and people are like, hey, you're not getting the same exact numbers, but the price value is a lot better for AMD cards, so might as well just go with those. Now these cards are the same, if not more. I know the 6,000, the base 6800 is 550.
So the 6800 is $500 more than 3070, but based on a lot of the benchmarks I've seen.
You said $500, you mean $50?
It's $50, yeah. So 6800 is $50 more than the 3070, but on a lot of the benchmarks I've seen, it either is exactly equal or outpaces the 3070. So there's that to keep in mind. And then the 6800 XT is $50 cheaper than a 3080. But it's not quite
close to it.
Yeah, it's not quite 3080 caliber, but it is really close.
So that's kind of strange. It's like $50 less and close to 3080 than $50 more, but same if not better. I mean, you think it'd be the same way.
So it shows. I mean, I think it shows a concerted effort at the company level to give you the biggest bang for your buck at that $500 level, because I think they know that's where the most people are going to be able to afford to get the components. You know what I mean? Like a 3080, a 3090, an fucking RX 6900. Those cards are $1,000, $1,200. Like, I'm saying this as I have $1,000 1080 Ti in my PC right now. I didn't need to buy that. Like, no one really needs to buy that level of card, especially to play 1080p fucking games, like, which is what I do. Like, so I think, they've smartly put a lot of their development in optimizing those $500 cards. People are willing to pay $500 for a console if you have the other things in place, like a slightly older piece, CPU, things like that. But you want an upgrade, and you would have been willing to pay $500 for a console. Why don't you pay $500 for a graphics card too? So I think they've smartly put a lot of effort into that $500 range to give you the massive performance boost that we've seen from the 2080 to the 3070, and then from the 5800 to the 6800. Like, it's pretty evident that that's the case. To me at least.
Yeah, I mean, I know, like, when Nvidia first announced that 3070s were going to be $500, I think AMD was kind of like, oh shit, they're going that low. So I remember I don't think they announced the prices for the 6000 series. So I feel like they were scrambling a little bit to try to bring the price down to near the $500.
Yeah. But so there's that. So I think, that's good for us. That's good for consumers.
For sure.
$500 is a much easier pill to swallow than $1,000. And for getting, and then considering, the 3070 is the same performance as the 2080 from last year, which was $1,200, or last generation was. So yeah, you can kind of see the effort they put in to kind of make that the ideal entry point, or the ideal spot for enthusiast gamers, like not the real hardcore gamers, but also people who want silky smooth frames. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The other thing that I literally just thought of, sort of an analogy, I think is the right word. AMD is sort of becoming the Apple of computer parts. Apple manufactures their own hardware. They design their own hardware. They design the software that their hardware runs on, so that they know there's absolutely no bugs, no issues with compatibility. Everything runs smoothly. And that's part of the reason a lot of people love Apple. I was an Android fanboy for a lot of years. Mm-hmm. I'm back on Apple now. I have the iPhone. I have an Apple Watch. I have AirPods Pros. They fucking work. I have an Apple TV. Like, they work. Everything works together interchangeably. There's no bugs. There's no hiccups. Whereas, like, Android, the software is designed by Google, but then everyone and their mother gets to tinker with it. And then everyone on the face of the planet designs parts for an Android phone. So you can't make one operating system work on every single chip that's ever been developed. Whereas, oh, go ahead.
And well, like you said, when we talk about Apple, they all talk to each
Yeah.
other. I saw that was
Everything.
That's a cool feature on these new graphics card. If you have a 5000 Ryzen CPU with the new graphics card, they have like called smart access
memory. Yeah.
It just makes it so their memory boosts or extra performance gets boosted across titles.
Yeah,
if you have
apparently.
both things.
Yeah, apparently.
I saw that on the card, and I was kind of like, oh shit. If I was gonna get the card, like, oh crap, I kind of wish I had a 5000 CPU to match with
it's
card.
select titles. So obviously, right now doesn't mean every
probably
title.
Nothing huge, but it's a nice like direction they're going into, trying to make sure like all their parts talk to each other. So if you like before, people would be like, oh, I'm AMD diehard just because XYZ. Now you can be like, I'm an AMD diehard because if I match the two together, I get 50% boosts.
Just like Apple.
I mean, it really is a very good comparison. I mean, they want you to have their CPU and their graphics card.
So you get this
performance boost. You'll get a up to 11% performance boost on select titles. And you need a 500 series motherboard, but those aren't made by AMD. But yeah, I mean, I think like I literally thought of that as I was talking through like everything that was happening. I was like, man, they've really kind of become like Apple of the computer world, which because you can't really be Apple of the computer world because one company does not make everything that goes into a computer, and it never will. But a company can aim to make the most of the most essential parts that go into your computer.
They're making the two most important parts of it
for gaming purposes. Yeah, for sure. And that's going to net benefits to the individual who goes that route. Will they be more expensive? Potentially, but you pay a premium for knowing your parts will always work together, and you'll get that little 11% potential boost. So, I mean, it's an interesting thing they're doing. It's an interesting road they're going down. At competition, it's really the biggest thing. Competition is better for everyone. Competition in the CPU realm is better for the consumer. Competition in the GPU realm is better for the consumer. So,
I feel like Intel's next lineup could be gangbuster because I think they must be seeing that they're losing a little bit.
Cheaper.
They must see that they're either losing or starting to slip a little bit. So
everyone and their fucking mother knows that the Ryzen is like better right now, especially the 5000 series. So
they're gonna come out swinging, and like I said, it's only gonna fit us.
Yeah,
great piece of equipment for maybe cheaper price. So
yeah,
I'll be curious to see.
Exactly. Final thing, we'll end it on really minor. Everything else that we've talked about has been kind of the more important stuff. PlayStation. So, we've talked about it kind of at length before that, one of the saving graces of the previous console generation for Xbox, at least, was the Xbox Games Pass. It really was kind of a driving factor for a lot of people to buy the One X in the later on in the generation refresh. And it still holds to be one of the best values in gaming. I mean, you pay that monthly fee and you get so much for it. It's unreal what you get for it. And if you pay the top dog fee, you get it for your PC too. So, I mean, it's like...
you get like games, and like I'm pretty sure it includes Xbox Live is now kind of woven into that too. So you get games and Xbox Gold all into one.
Yeah. So like it's an unreal value. It still is.
Yes.
But PlayStation is apparently working on their response to the Games Pass. I believe we mentioned this 3-4 episodes ago. They had, there was inklings. They had mentioned something that was like the very, very beginning skeletons of what would be a Games Pass competitor. So obviously they've made headway on that aspect. So yeah, I mean it.
Yeah, I was some IGN and they that's the first time I saw it. But there's really nothing to it. All they said is we're playing response, and that's all the information we have
Yeah,
about it. So not much to it. I mean, I feel like
it's stupid not to.
yeah, this had to happen. I agree. Game Pass is a really good fucking value. So at some point in time, you'd have to assume PlayStation would do something similar. I just think it's been delayed a little bit because the PlayStation exclusives that have been released this generation have just been absolute gangbusters and insane that I guess no one's really called for it or even thought about needing such a service. I
Makes
guess
it
Xbox is starting to catch up to them a little bit, so they're like, all right, our exclusives are really good still, but let's kind of let's challenge them at this.
it makes it harder from PlayStation's point of view to like justify the investment when if they're not going to make it available to PC as well. Like Xbox gets so much benefit out of having a tier that includes games on your Xbox and games on your PC because surprise surprise, Microsoft owns the operating system that you're using on your computer and the Xbox console that you're playing your game with. So if PlayStation isn't going to make that compatibility happen outside of Steam, obviously certain titles will make their way to Steam. And then if they're titles that are not PlayStation exclusive, they're generally always on the PC anyways. But yeah, for the Xbox, for the PlayStation exclusive games, that could be it could be a cost of doing business that PlayStation's not really willing to incur because it doesn't help them in much. I mean, because anyone who has a PlayStation, most people are going to buy those games anyways because that's what they want. That's part of the reason they bought a PlayStation is for the exclusives. So it's hard to say. But I mean,
sure.
I don't doubt that they're planning something because they would be kind of stupid not to investigate that avenue.
At least some form of response. You can't just completely Xbox have this service and not try to do something of your own.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious to see what they kind of come up with.
Yeah. So that's gonna do it. That wraps up. I mean, we got a little heated there when we were talking about Twitch. We dove a little deep on the old Call of Duty side of things. You know, as always, things tend to run a little bit longer with us. You know, we get talking about things and random other thoughts pop up or things on that topic get a little more expanded. But we appreciate you guys sticking around, hanging out with us.
My best thoughts are just on the fly. So
I know, man.
You get out there.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I don't want to hold. I have a hard time holding on to them. So when they pop in my head, I'm like, oh, don't fly away. So thanks for everyone for sticking around. You're watching the stream on either Twitch or YouTube. We appreciate it. You know, drop a follow, drop a subscribe. Go to our other social platforms as well: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. All of them are at W_key_podcast. We appreciate the support on all of those areas as well. Really big thing that helps us out though, rating, reviewing, and word of mouth. You can do both of the first two things on Podchaser. So you can rate and review on podchaser.com. You can find our page just by searching WKey Podcast. They are the IMDb of podcasts, and rating and reviewing there helps us get seen by new eyes, helps us expand our reach, and appreciate it. If you are not the type to rate and review, but you still want to help us out, word of mouth is really big. You know, getting us spread to as many ears as possible. So if you have a friend or family member, or you just want to be like that crazy guy that tells us some stranger on the street to listen to a podcast, hey, whatever you do, we're going to appreciate it. But let them know. We're on all major podcast platforms. So if someone's like, oh, I don't know if I'll be able to find them. Yes, you will be able to find us.
You can.
So let someone know. Tell them who we are, what we do. You know, if you're enjoying it, like I said, hopefully they'll enjoy it too. It really helps us out. I mentioned our socials already as far as the show, so go ahead and follow those. We'll, as always, as is tradition, we'll have Matt drop his socials as well.
We got Technique on Twitter, Technique TV for the Instagram, and twitch.tv/Technique for some streaming fun.
Streaming fun. That is a wrap on this episode.
Come over or else.
He's going to choke you with the force, basically, through the computer screen. So,
My arm.
Yeah. Thanks everyone for hanging out. Thanks for being here. Every other Monday, we do the live stream of the episode. Every other Thursday, well, the live stream happens every other Monday. The Thursday following that Monday, so 3 days after, the episode will release in podcast form. So keep your eyes out for that. And yeah, we're going to wrap it up. We're going to get out of here. We're going to call it a night. Always remember, can't spell win without W.